Hi, this is the Price Action Analyst. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I just wanted to take a look at OMG. It's a coin that has been in the model portfolio for a while, and then the buy recommendation was placed on it on the 10th, which is the bar with the big blue arrow, obviously. So I just want to just talk about how, you know, we get into a position where we're buying something like that. So, you know, when I did my initial research for this, I noticed this was already painted in. You know, when I came across this, it was probably around here somewhere at a guess. So, you know, I just came across this. I wasn't kind of involved in the coin before that. But this big leg up and this retrace is indicative that eventually there's going to be another leg up, basically. And what this leg up also does is it places this cryptocurrency in an uptrend relative to Bitcoin. This is obviously the Bitcoin pair. And as you can see, you know, this coin has been higher, much higher priced, and it's, you know, consolidated, had a big down run, and come into these low levels of support and consolidated, and then had this very strong breakout on a very relatively large volume spike. And so, you know, catching this coin where I did, which is about here, what I've done is I've framed up the price action and then marked up the support and resistance lines. And so I know this is consolidating within support and resistance. There's another level of resistance here. So it made wicks off that, and that started the retrace, and it's come back down through support. Eventually tested support, come back up to resistance. Now it's come back down to support. So you can't buy that right away because you've got, you know, overwhelming momentum on the downside. And so what you're really waiting to see is substantial buying. I'll drill down into the hourly in a second, but what you saw here is price didn't really go any lower. It came up and then it retraced. And as it retraced, it washed this pivot. And when it washed that pivot, it immediately was bought back up and left a wick. And so that starts to become an indicator that this might be close to the low. You've also got this wick poking outside the trend line and coming back inside. Still not substantial necessarily, price retrace, but you know, this wick, and especially like if I'm short-term trading on, say, you know, option spreads, this wick area becomes a buying zone. And so as price dips into there, you can be taking long positions. Now, you know, in my cryptocurrency subscription service, I'm giving buy recommendations to people who are paying for my advice. So I'm, I guess, probably being a bit more cautious than I would be. You know, that is a relatively, you know, you've got to be brave to take that trade there because price action looks very bearish. This buying bar, however, was the giveaway that this was exactly what it looked like. You know, that wick was indicative of the low. Price had come back into that wick and pushed up. And so when I saw that the next day, the buy recommendation was placed on that. And so you had 3 days of price sort of meandering along the trend line, and you had your breakout there, and it was probably a late buy or a hold by then. And then, you know, you can't really predict. You can project the price movement, like you could have made a projection for this price movement. You know, and that gets you there, but there's no way to predict how quick it's going to get there. Like, these spikes are not that's not high probability. And so really all you can do is time your entry so it's it's a good entry, so it's basically based on what I've just described, and then it's high probability that price pushes up from there. That's basically all you're really sure of. And so this is a good sign. This retrace against a trend line was a good sign. This was a good sign. Here it's all right, here it's too late. Here it's definitely too late to get in. Very short retrace here. And I always say, people, be careful of the breakouts because they do tend to be aggressive, especially in this crypto market. So that was OMG. We'll just take a look at the hourly. So there was your wick, and here was price inside that wick. Here's the area of resistance or support, I guess. It's resistance of price going lower. And you've got, attempts to push below it, attempts to push below it. And then the strength starts to increase, So there was no obvious indicator in here. Maybe this wick, if you wanted to get in early, but definitely around here. But our thing on the 10th was as late as, we were buying here. So, relative to the hour bars, you're in quite late, but not compared to the daily and the projected move. And so even from our entry, and this is not necessarily a short-term service, because, if you bought here on the 10th, price did push against you. It broke out of this trend line, which is what I expect, and then this is a retrace, which I expect, left a wick, washed the wick, and then you got price stair-stepped its way out. And this was the, that was the confirmation that, this was going to push higher. But, even that large spike retraced. Didn't quite get back to the air, but, retraced, 70% before it pushed up. So anyways, I'll just leave that there. That is an example of what we're doing in the model portfolio. So I'm just trying to, I'm trying to time ideal entries to these cryptocurrencies, and it's not with a view to short-term trading. Again, if you're short-term trading and you're buying here and selling here, you're missing all of this. It's the service is designed to get you into these things at good entry points like this one. And then you're holding the cryptocurrency for what I think is going to be a longer term rally in this market. So you've had a wash of this level here, and you have a retracement. And so expect price to come back a bit. Where I would look now is these previous highs, and you've probably got air in there. So, if it's a deep retracement, it'll come back here. You got a level of support. It may not, but these wicks indicate that there's going to be some sort of retracement. But again, if it gets down here, I'll be looking, and if it starts to give an indication that that's the beginning of the next leg, there will be another buy recommendation there. So, you can add to your position, or the other thing I'll say is, I don't know if I've done it on this one, but normally when I see those wicks there, I will put an exit range, and they're normally red, and it's just, it's a rough size, but that would probably be the ideal exit range, and it would have been in the first wick. So, as we saw that blue wick, as price comes in and retraces that wick, that's where you're exiting and you're taking profits. And you can see that it's going to give you a chance to get in at a lower price. You might have got out at 2.5, and I think you should be able to get it kind of 2 or less. So what are we talking there? Sorry, it's kind of late. 25%. You're in 25% lower, and you're positioned for the next leg up. So, and that's very likely to make a next leg up. Like if you look at strength. Sure, that consolidation took a line, like, you know, massive strength. So that's probably a coin that you want to be holding now, because, you know, if it pushes out of here, makes new highs, it's, you know, if it doesn't stop at this resistance level, it's coming to this one. So there's a lot of potential there. Prices are very low to how they have been historically. So, you know, Bitcoin's coming up to, well, I've projected it to get to 14,000. It's on the way there. But, you know, if it gets to 19,000, you know, what's to say that these coins don't get back to their all-time high? I think they will eventually, given the context of everything that's happening right now. And so if you look at that, oh well, that is a it just made it. So I mean, they're very close to all-time high in US dollar terms, but that's not really what I'm concerned with. You know, if I'm looking for coins that are appreciating relative to Bitcoin, because we're trying to make sure that we're holding the next Bitcoin. You know, so if price now is what, $217, yeah, it's over, you know, if it gets back to its previous high, you're talking over 10 times. So there's a lot of potential there, but the indicator to me, the thing that interests me, is the strength of these up moves with the volume spikes. You know, that's promising, and that's why OMG is in the model portfolio. So I'll leave it there. I just wanted to give you a rundown of the thinking and that goes into putting this in the model portfolio and placing a buy recommendation on it there prior to this move. Please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you're interested in seeing my model portfolio, which comes in a nightly updated spreadsheet, have a look at the service. The outline or description of it is in the description box of all the videos. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.